Okay, y'all. Peace and love again. Now I can finish. As you can honestly tell, I was out doing stuff that I had to do and everything. Um, what I wanted to say, so when you have started, your body starts to get really, really hot to where somebody else can feel that it's way too hot. The reason you're that hot, you can actually feel you're that hot too. You don't realize how hot you are, but you'll be pretty hot. Your body would be anyway, is because where the DEA is changing to what it was originally was. And what's happening is that the closer we get to the sun, the more your DNA. That's why you call yourself sun. That's why I keep saying sun blood for a reason. We our DNA in us, and we are going to become hotter than the sun. That's why they. That's why there's people that some teachers that will say we're going to go nuclear. That's because we are, and uh, many of y'all don't understand. Don't understand exactly what I'm talking about. Many of y'all just thinking the bomb and stuff like it's way deeper than what I just said. I'm only giving the tip of the iceberg, but I'm giving it in the right way instead of confusing you. Now, other thing I gotta keep repeating and straightening out is that what I'm starting to find out and fail to learn that women think when they're talking about the female energy or big mama, they feel that they're talking about them specifically. Here's the problem. That's not talking about you, nor is it talking about your men. It's talking about yes, we are part of it and all that stuff. I get that. Da da da. All one. Yes. It's about the collective. That's what it's really about. But the ether, when we say Big Mama, we talking about when you go back to the ether, name Big Mama's house. It doesn't mean it's Big Mama. That's the thing that you don't understand. It's just a saying. It's mother energy, which is female energy, and male energy mixed together, all in one. So it does not lean on either side. It's all equal. It's a balance. That's why you actually supposed to say Kundalini energy, because it describes exactly what I said without even saying it. And then when you start understanding Kundalini energy, it's about the mixture of the two and not the one. And the mixture is Big Mama's house and not the one. Then you realize and understand that. See, without the feminine energy, there would be no peace. Without the male energy, there'd be no protection. So you got to have both, and it's got to be a balance so there can be complete peace all the time. So this is why us the women and the men got to stop leaning towards where the Bible teaches and how men are supposed to act. But it's got to stop. Women got to stop going with the way that these teachers are teaching. That's teaching what I've said a long time ago wrong. Big Mama is just about the collective, nothing else. It's really just describing the collective. It's really a simple way of saying the collective. If you really want to simplify it and get out of the science of things, I know I can go deep and I can get confusing. So, end of the day, when he's talking about Big Mama, because we all mixed up in one, we all together and we all in it, because we are it, male and female energy, Big Mama is everybody. That is us. When you go back home, you go back to us. When you pick Big Mama, you pick yourself, but you're picking us because it's about the collective. So it's understanding that you have to understand and overstand that it's about the collective and it's really not about anything else. And we are going to work on top no matter what. And whoever's going to be there wants to understand it's about the collective. And if you don't have any value that you can do, you will also cease to exist. Remember this. Because you're a part of Big Mama, which is actually female and male energy, which is just Kundalini energy. Nobody ushers anybody in. That's just not how it works. Some of you have chosen to make this journey together, which is actually better for you because you got protection. Many of you think you are protected, but the problem is you're only protected to a certain extent because that's all they can protect you to. Because they cannot get involved with this realm. And I keep telling you that. They protect you on places that is lined up with this realm, but it's not part of this realm, but it's in this realm. I know that it's confusing, but it explains how timelines exist amongst each other on many different levels. So you have to understand that. A man is nothing without a man, actually, I guess. Without a woman, a man cannot produce children. Without a man, a woman doesn't have matching protection. What in the world? Sadara! Hey! Hold on. Like the dog is beating up her fucking puppies. Get off the puppy. Almost like it. She sat on a damn puppy or something. I don't know if she did. Anyways. Yeah, let me get back to what I was talking about. Just know it's about the collective. And we all part of that ether, which is Big Mama, which is describing Kundalini energy, which is totally explains female and male energy mixed together all into one, which just means that we all are in it. So, and there's nothing that can protect you to the physical sense except for the ones who are physical, but live in a body because we are spiritual. And that is your men. There's a reason Big Mama, or as you want to say, the female energy out in the ether, that they keep calling evil, but it's not, exists with a female energy. I'm sorry, with a male energy. Without the male energy, with that female energy, if if the female energy did not have the male energy with it, there'd be no balance and it would just be chaos. Without the male energy having the female energy with it, there'd be no balance. There'd be just chaos. And that's why it takes both. And this also why marriage has to exist. It creates balance. And this is why they wanted to destroy the earth. And it creates balance on a collective physical sense and a spiritual sense. And that's why they try to destroy the family. They try to divide the husbands and the wife. And they try to get anybody they can, or they will use anybody they can to try to divide the husband and the wife. You know, so that's why these things have occurred. You have to start thinking on a higher scale and start thinking like what you are and not think like a human. Yes, we are not light beings. Oh, and I do gotta address this because that's the fourth time I said I heard something like this, and I'm just like, okay, I'm finally gonna say something. All right, so you have to understand there are certain cities that are on the 33rd parallel, such as Boston, Chicago, Florida, and a couple of other places. There's not many of them. There's a couple of them, and the United States, as you call it or they call it, right? Here's the thing. Those are all energy banks, energy places. And what you have to understand is that those were built by our people. They existed before anybody came over here. They were known for the places where you learn the most, become the smartest, and get the most energy, get the most powers and the abilities. Because we're connected to the energy that was in the ether. It was here. It still exists in some buildings. They use it for evil now, but they won't be able to use it for evil any longer because it's going to be used for good and to get rid of them. This energy, because if you are born in any of those cities like I was, you are connected to that city and that energy is always connected to you from birth and before you came. That's why it chose you to be born in that city. It knows it just know there's no such thing as a coincidence. So when people don't understand places like Chicago, New York City, New Jersey, certain parts of New Hampshire and Connecticut, certain parts, like Hartford, um, Chicago, Florida, Cali. And people don't realize that there's some couple of other more places in Mississippi that these places sit on the 33rd parallel. Now, and also in all those cities is your history, more history than any other places. Is your history about when you was on top, at the top of your game in all these cities, and history of how these things came and took your shit. straight took your cities after I don't know how many wars. See, what you don't understand is that, okay, the Northern Kingdom was some of us. But you have to realize that a lot of the Southern kings, which are supposed to be the more stronger kings, had left the Southern Kingdom. My family comes from that lineage. Mississippi, so-called Blackfoot, not the real name. We all know that. They changed the name so many damn times, right? The kings and the top warriors, and the kings were the smartest people amongst all the people. And the warriors that left with the kings were the strongest and the best. They ran when we fell. The book tells you that we left where we was at. We escaped because the king can't fall. Because the king falls, you really get what? You get what they really have. You don't have to steal it. It outright becomes yours. So because we left with the best soldiers and decided to hide in plain sight, because that's what our ancestors decided to do. Although we went through a different type of, we didn't go to get the whip on the back. There's some of you that escaped because we helped you escape in what they call the Underground Railroad, which that hijack is the woman they use to try to say she did that. That's all cap. That's bullshit. That place was designed by men. She was part of a group that, and she took orders just like other folks in that group that took orders to help other folks get out. But she was not everything they're talking, not even close. She did what she was told. The only thing she did that our people did not tell her to do, that was in charge, the kings, was she killed her husband because he was going to tell on her. That's facts. And the whole thing about her getting hit in the head, which is more cap, and then she could see everything clearly, is total bullshit. Y'all got to see past the bullshit that they try to push to you. So we have to start being smarter than that. They left, and it tells you we left. We left the Southern Kingdom, went to the Northern Kingdom, amongst our other brothers, who have got word to us that they were not under the whip. Yeah, the land was stolen, but they were not under the whip. At that time, they were nowhere near indentured servants. Okay? The South and all that, man, the Midwest, you guys were, whoa, man, bad, bam, boom, on it. And some of y'all got the whip. But some of y'all got free because we helped y'all get free. Your kings that went to and your smartest, the strongest ones went to places like Boston, Massachusetts, Chicago, New York, New Jersey, and Florida, and Cali, and about 3 or 4 more places like Mississippi. Well, we left Mississippi. That was an energy place, but we left it. Some of y'all stayed, and y'all went slaving, and y'all decided to escape from that place later on. And some of y'all end up doing all that because most of y'all, although we are all kings, remember, there's levels to this. And some of us actually had thrones. We weren't just called kings. And there were many kings of many tribes and many kingdoms. Where you think they got if you just think, you realize that they basically took everything he was doing and reversed it. So they had castles and kingdoms, and so did we, way before they ever existed. So we left because the bloodline of the kings cannot fall, because if they were to fall, you lose everything, male and female. All you warriors lose everything. All you queens, even the queens who left with the kings or had separate journeys to be in other places that were further north. And in some parts of Kansas, there's one part of Kansas City, I forgot what it's called, but it's actually in Kansas City. A couple hours outside of Missouri, that was the energy place. But it's not talked about. And Kansas City wasn't even on the map. They hit that part. It wasn't on the map until they won the Super Bowl. But that's another ball game. That's the truth. And so was Chicago too. They hit that for a while. But anyways, let's just get straight to it. These are places where your best kings, your best warriors are. And these kings are going to bring back balance. And they have names that means kings and leaders over many. And many names such as that lead to the same exact meaning. If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. So these places are way more than special. And there's nothing like any of these places. And if you're born there, you understand that the reason they have so many games because there's so many tribes on every street. And they turn around and call it games because when the kings and the warriors stop beefing with their enemy, like you know we did, right? They become their own enemy. Crabs in a bucket. And they start killing each other. I have plenty of footage I was going to show you about Boston and other cities like that. I remember though, when I think back, I showed y'all a bunch of stuff, and Remedy H did a good job as well, before and with a follow up behind mine. I mean, I've told y'all shit, but I brought y'all whatever's before in the past too. So I guess that's a double on both sides. I did it, he did it, I did it, he did it. So it's all good. But that last two that he did was very impressive. How he put them together and showed you so much evidence about all these cities that some of you people really think is not special. In fact, some of y'all think it's nothing but white folks over there, and that is so fucking bullshit. It's a false lie. They only let faces like Mark Wahlberg, who y'all hate for us to talk about, because he is actually John Cena. But we can talk about any other rapper or any other artist, any person, and y'all don't get mad. I find that there are men and women that get mad when you talk about Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is from Boston, from the same hood of people that complexion like me. The reason he made it was not because he was talented. He had to learn the stuff he learned because they trained him. The reason he even got handpicked, by the way, which most of y'all don't even know, is because he was never human. And he definitely ain't us. And the whole reason that even happened was because they had to pick a white face for Boston. They never wanted y'all to ever know that there was any other kings or the real kings that had the thrones and castles and kingdoms that ruled with no games. Because you cannot play games rule a kingdom correctly, even with a good queen by your side. You have to be on point. Because at the end of it all, it's like it was before, and it's going to be soon. It's going to be a grown man's game. It has not been a grown man's game for a long time because we have not been in charge for a long time. When we get back in charge, it is going to be a grown man's game. And there will be no man that is left. And I'm just using their terms. There'll be no non-ether light beings that is left that's going to be worthless. Even the ones that exist that are woke now, they're not worthless. They're some of the best teachers, and that's for a reason. And they're going to have some of the most abilities. They've been handpicked before they even got sent down here to help you. So understand when you look at these different cities and certain spots of different places, that there are real history, your history, from both ends, that explains a whole lot of stuff you've been trying to research. And these cities ought to be greatly respected. This is why they call Boston, Massachusetts, the city of champions. And this is why when many people come from other cities and go to cities like Chicago, Cali, Florida, California, Boston, New York, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and a couple other places, they freaking can't live there. They literally either get strung out on drugs, be dead not too long later, or leave very soon. Because the energy can't handle the energy that is there. And all these cities, when you are in the place where the energy sources, which is your urban areas, by the way, and some areas, they also moved you out of those cities. There's so much power that many of you can't handle it. It really starts to destroy you from within because your vibration is not high enough. And this is why I say To people that their body gets really hot, don't worry. There's nothing wrong. That's power. And to the men and women that told me about how sometimes your spouse, or try to get advice from me, I should say, because that's what y'all wanted, how your spouse is hot, or sometimes too hot. And I got it from both sides. Um, get your energy up, because what's happening with your spouse is that their DEA is changing, and our people are going to be hotter than the sun. These people will not be able to exist in whatever reality that we choose to be in, including the ether. Because wherever we're going to be at, it's going to be hotter than the sun. They will not be able to exist on any reality, never mind planet or mansion or place. Any reality, period, they will not be able to exist. So it's time for y'all to get your energy up. It's time for y'all to start using the more of the female energy, okay, which is a love energy that love like only as a mother could love. Means you're going to be the sweetest, nicest, kindest, smartest person. You won't yell or none of that stuff. That goes for the men and the women. So I hope y'all gonna listen. Because if you don't get that energy up, y'all gonna cease to exist, man. And start giving respect where respect is due. And respect your own history. Don't say stuff because you may not know what you're saying. And I know some folks will let you say and not say something to you. But when it gets amongst each other, I can honestly say as a person that was born and raised in Boston, that when we heard people say, oh yeah, this guy's from Cambridge, and they call it Boston, we get upset. Because they not from Boston. Don't get me Cambridge, but they have one power center in their place, which is a certain building that I won't even expose. And they got their own swag, a lot of Zoles down there, which means Haitians. There's a lot of Jamaicans and stuff down there, just like in Boston and all that stuff. If you look at both cities, predominantly, they have pretty much the same hairstyles. Only the pretty boys are the short tape cuts. I know because I was one back when I was out there and didn't know anything. Because when you're out there, you're being a pretty boy, don't know anything. Can't get enough attention from any woman. You need a whole bunch of women. That's the truth. And that's why a lot of your brothers who got into the truth are not pretty boys. All that was taken away when they became in the truth, and they start waking up because they start realizing that what's more important. No man should be in the mirror more than a woman. No man should be looking almost as pretty, almost as matched as far as handsomeness or beauty as a woman. I'm talking about straight men. If you look nicer dressed than your woman, if you can stand next to a woman and you look almost better than her, brother, something's wrong with your mind thought and your reality, because you care about your looks too much. And as a man, you're supposed to protect and work, get things done. Your job is not to care about your looks too much. Your job is to care that you're clean, that you're decent, you're presentable, and that you look nice, and that you're going to do everything that you do because you a man. And I ain't trying to say this, they saying it. Now, it's light be. Okay? You are not soft, and you ain't for the bullshit. But you know how to be cordial, and you don't like to argue because it's a waste of your time. You don't even like to fuss because you're a man. Men don't like to argue. Men don't like to fuss. Men try not to fuss. Men try to. We put up with a lot of bullshit too. Well, men put up with a whole lot of bullshit. And the problem with a lot of women is that they haven't really dated real men. Y'all dated these pushover, suck ass niggas that'll do whatever you want. Y'all haven't really dealt with men. And y'all are gonna be forced to deal with men. And let's not forget, and I'll be honest and just tell y'all this with me. I have to understand how serious this is. I'm not saying it to be mean or anything. I'm saying it because I actually can. I love all you. I got 5 sisters. I love all my sisters. I still talk to them and stuff like that. They're my sisters. I got older sisters. I got younger sisters. But there's plenty of prophecies that are not in your Bible The Bible has a snippet of it that comes to Sumerian text and from other books that are way older than Sumerian text and Sanskrit that's way older than the Sumerian text that talks about, even the Hopi prophecy talks about how the women are going to be shunned and shamed. And the reason is because it's what's happening right now. Yeah, don't treat the men right to a certain extent, but it's more happening for something else. And that's because the women are mistaken to think when it's talking about Big Mama, it's talking about them, and it's not talking about you. And it's not talking about your men either. It's talking about the collective. And yes, we are all part of the collective, but it's about the collective, not about he or she. Y'all got to understand and start looking for the spiritual sense instead of physical sense. Start thinking like a non-ether light being and start thinking like a human. That's what's going wrong with our people. Y'all keep thinking like a human, and then when the teacher teaches something wrong and doesn't thoroughly explain anything right, y'all just freaking get happy. Y'all go with it and not understand that he messed up by he didn't explain it right. And he not go to it deep enough. And a lot of teachers make that mistake because they're not going deep enough. You ain't gotta believe me. Yeah, y'all can just look it up. Anybody can look it up. But the fact is, and always will remain, there's the reason why I was sent here and I'm doing my job. And the fact is, no matter how anybody can get mad or dispute or whatever the case is, I don't know what it is. You know, there's people who've been saying for a long time that I've been the truth. And it's not just because they just want to say it. I'm not being cocky, I'm not being prideful. I'm just being honest. Because after a while, once you say so many things, so many different ways, and you break it down to the deepest set, to a simple form, and you see people may not get it, I don't understand. And maybe not meant to understand. But I'm trying to get you to understand. That's all of you. This is not meant for any single one person. This is meant for everybody. I might even watch this video myself over again just to hear myself explain this to myself. So I'm not even just being real with y'all, man. I really care about the collective. I know it's about the collective, and there's no other way to get through except to understand about the collective. Until you understand that when you're talking to somebody else, you're talking to yourself. If you want to talk to yourself, you want anybody else to talk to you like that or treat you a certain way, then you should not treat them like that or talk to them a certain way. We got to start thinking like who we are and realize that we're a collective. There's no such thing as individuality. It's a devil's trick. The whole point of why I've been teaching, enemy want to try to stop me. He tried to stop me. And I've been teaching ascension. So he tried to stop me. Ascension, which means that you go up to a whole nother level, way level, and you don't come back here. It's because your goal is to ascend. When you literally combine you with your body, you are going to ascend. You're not going to be in this reality. You're going to go to a whole reality that's unlike this reality on every single level. And you're never coming back here. This was a mistake. We teachers who are the kings have came back to help you get out of this mistake. This place is the devil's playground. There's no way to get around it because otherwise all the stuff that exists that should not exist would never exist at all. And it keeps existing over and over again because it's the playground. This is the place where the children go to learn in the hopes of graduating from this place to go to another level. So you can either stay in kindergarten and keep coming back to this miserable place and doing this all over until you finally get that this is a mistake, or you can ascend out of here with the rest of us because we kings and real warriors who left and are now coming back to the places that they were. Well, yeah, the places that they were captured. I should say that we were captured in different places. We were from the places. We were captured in the places. But if you look at Mississippi and other places, you realize that they had family lines all the way down as deep as some places that you wouldn't think that they actually did. So, just and we are the kings who are the real teachers that's teaching the truth. And there's not many out there teaching the truth. And there's some kings who are teaching, but it's on different channels, different, because there's way more than the 3 or 4 things that people teach on right now. There's a whole lot more. Trust me, I know. I looked at them. I just don't really bother with them as far as downloading all that stuff. Because if I gotta watch this guy and download just the stuff just to watch and show his stuff, there's too much of data being taken up on the phone. I don't have. I mean, you understand. But I do my best with the data and stuff that I do have for the people, because it's not. It has never been about me. Only time it was about me when I was a pretty boy and I was out in these streets and I was out doing what people do. And where I'm at it, by the way, I want to give. I'm so glad my Boston Kings, y'all waking up, brothers, because yo, I was getting worried. I spoke to one of the brothers who was also young king. I don't know if he know it, but you had, brother, you have a, you had a kingdom, you had a throne, just like me. That's why you think on a different level, and you not like all the other people that we was among, and they were special too. They were warriors, and you can still call them king because y'all king of all the rest of the nations. But there's levels to this shit. And the smartest ones was the ones that came to kings, and we the ones that had the highest abilities because we knew how to get those abilities and sun to get it. And we had the closest DEA to sun blood as possible, which is part of your ether. That y'all call Big Mama, which is cool energy, which is male and female energy mix. The yin and yang does not stand for good and evil. They tricked y'all with that too. And they're so devious. But I just want to say, I love y'all. I just got home from work, literally. Hung my dirty ass coat up. I gotta take my pants is filthy. I gotta take them off. And I gotta get myself all the way cleaned up. And I think I'm gonna take my butt to sleep because I'm tired. I'm not even physically tired. I'm just mentally tired. Like, I'm working a lot. I'm tired of this shit, boy. Yeah, man, their time is almost done. But yeah, men and women, some of you will start gonna get really hot and your spouse is gonna complain, and that's okay. Try to help your spouse get their energy up. They're gonna need it because they're gonna have to get the heart just like you. I mean, it's being real. This is where we're headed. You don't freaking drive the planet through the sun without heating up your own self. Remember, the sun is in us. The whole everything is in us. You just seeing different realities. Why they call this a dream state, a dream world. The substance that seems real, but it's not real, but it seems real, it feels real, but ain't real, but it's not. But feels real. It's called the atom. And that's energy. That's you. It was not about some physical thing. You in the matrix, man. Have mercy. I tell you, some of y'all just don't get it. Hope some of y'all do get it though, because I love y'all, man. And talking about Boston people and the warriors of every hood and the street that I grew up on, home of the gangsters, which was home of the warriors, where you had 2 kings living on the block and y'all didn't even know it, hiding in plain sight, but your warriors also hiding in plain sight. They knew where your warriors were. They couldn't tell who the kings were. And most of the kings are moving out all these cities and going back. And soon you warriors are going to do the same thing. I already let some of you know that. And I told the ones who I let know, let the people know in Boston that want to be that really ready. Y'all come out here, man. I gotta say, I tell you what, I do miss y'all. I miss that city. Ain't no place will ever be like Boston, and the energy's real. There's a reason why they called you Champion Town, Title Town, the City of Champions, Boston Strong, and many other names they called y'all. And listen, when they came up to the South, which they considered the North, which was it the North, right? Although everything was switched around because the North is the South and the South is the North, just so you know. And the freaking, it's just all fucked up. We ain't gonna get into it. But I'm just being real. But I just gave you some fucking information, some big information. But what I was want to say is that We going back and y'all gonna come back too. Because it's time for everybody to go back to the places where they're from. And it was all in the United States. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be dead honest and tell y'all the truth about this, because many of y'all don't y'all must have missed it. But the reason they want you to leave United States, no matter where it's at, because if you leave the United States, they don't plan to let you back in the United States. And in fact, it's gonna go and we're in charge that nobody, I don't give a fuck who you are, will be allowed inside the United States. We're in charge. And we're gonna make it so that nothing could come over here. We wanted you to come over here. We're gonna be totally separated, like it was always supposed to be. Not Curious George no more. Y'all want me to exist anywhere near a reality that we're at. Y'all weren't supposed to. So if you leave your reality, which is America, y'all, our people, you'll be given your birthright and you'll never get it back, because you will not be able to get back. They know this. These places outside the United States, what the hell? Hold on, I'm gonna have to get that shit real quick. I got a problem I gotta handle real quick, y'all. It's about to be dead in a second. Motherfucker just ran up in here and shit. I'm about to get that shit. All right, that's the first. Anyhow, yeah, like I was saying, I just think about just getting that little thing, whatever the fuck it just was. All right, let me get back to what I was saying. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, y'all coming back. Mm-hmm. And if y'all leave the United States, just know that you'll be given your birthrights. You won't be able to come back. These are places that they're all going to get trapped in, and they're all going to be forced to leave. Just watch. They're all going to be forced to leave. They will not be able to stay in the reality that they're all going to be forced to leave. You're going to start seeing them move out. Just know you heard it here first. I told y'all stuff 15, 20 years ahead, and I was right, and I'm always going to be right. They'll start moving out, y'all. Everybody will go back to their own lands. Just know this. And their land is where they're going to get stuck at. And their reality is going to totally change for them in the worst way. And if you're part of their reality, you're going to deal with their curses, because you be stuck in their reality, never to return to your reality. This is what's about to happen. So make sure you do not leave the United States under no circumstances whatsoever. And you stay in the United States and you keep your birthright, especially if you got children. Because by you leaving, you also get rid of their birthright. And honestly, that's all the way fucked up. Just being real. So when it comes down to it, I don't care if you married, not married, single, not single. Don't leave the United States, male and female. Because if you have any children, especially if you got children, you're literally giving up their birthright, because you never get it back. That's why they want you to leave. Because you won't get it back, they'll never get it back. Just being real with y'all, man. And honestly, everything I said, I really feel is common sense. I know a lot of y'all be like, you smart and all that, whatever, but I really feel like everything I just said is just common sense. I really do. And maybe it's common sense to me because the ether, the source, has taught me and continues to teach me. And I can see things clearly, things that I guess many others really can't see them, which I don't understand. I really, truly, y'all, I don't understand it. But that's because I'm not supposed to understand it. Y'all got special people amongst y'all, yo, that came to help y'all. And many of y'all are young souls that's about to get out of this shit on the first time. And y'all don't even realize it. Come on, y'all. Use more of that female energy. We need love and love, love and love, love only like a mother can love. That includes the men and the women. Peace and love, y'all. And on that note, I also just said something to myself, because I think I needed to hear that too. I love you. All of you. Oh, and to prove that you're warriors, a lot of your warriors, Chicago is dumb big, y'all. Y'all know that. Do y'all know that Boston is only a fraction, a quarter of Chicago, and they got the same death rate? Which means that there's more of your kings and warriors actually in cities like Boston than it is in Chicago. And you have kings and warriors in Chicago. And we have the Boston, Massachusetts has the same death rate. Think about that. These are murders that 30-some% never even get solved. You got to be a bad motherfucker to get away with that many damn murders. And I don't care who you are. Just being real. There's a reason why they fear your men. And there's a reason why they fear the women being by the men's side to the point of so strong before slavery existed. They know that when that bond is fully solicited, fully combined together, that it is completely game over. It is obviously already inevitable, but I'm talking about when the stamp is completely, I mean, it's game over already, but I mean the game over, where they know that they know there's nothing they can do because it keeps on going to the same thing where it happens to the men and women, where they actually eventually do get it together. But on every level, not just marriage, every level. And that's what they fear the most, man. Because that's when we go nuclear. And we already getting hot. y'all don't even understand. This earth, this planet, everything is in you. You have no idea who and what you are. And if you just would know, man, that you would know and know, you understand everything I'm trying to tell you and get you to see. It's so simple that it's not even funny. So simple that when I talk to you, it sounds like some fucking deep science. And it's really not. It's crazy. Peace and love.